Welcome. This is our second or third masterclass together. I think it's the third one, and it's grammar again today. So I hope you are not disappointed. I mean, you're here, so you can't be disappointed. Now, let me just share my screen first. Okay. Oops. Okay. Now, can you just, can't see the chat again. Hold on, guys. Okay. Now, can you just give me a yes? Yeah, okay, Sindo, thank you. Okay, you can read my mind. Okay, Anastasia, can you view my screen? Because you're saying no, yeah, okay, that's it. Cool. Okay, very good. So, hello everyone. Now, as I said, I'm not mentioning all of you by your name because I don't know all of you. So, whoever is new to our masterclass program, could you very briefly introduce yourself in the chat? Just tell us where you're joining us from. We have about 1 minute to kind of get to know each other. So Lina, Cindy, Anastasia, Jan, I know you guys. Hedy, Anna, I know you. Svetlana, I don't think we've ever met. Can you just very quickly tell us where you're joining us from before we start the session? Ukraine. Hello. Okay, now guys, let's get cracking. So today, again, we only have 1 hour and we all know how little time it is. So let's go straight to business. Let's go straight to infinitives and gerunds. Okay, first of all, I want to ask you one question. Do you find infinitives and gerunds difficult as a grammar point, or is it easy? Just very quickly, give me no. Anastasia is saying no. Oh, okay. We'll find out later, Anastasia. I like the challenge. Okay. Anybody else? Okay. Easy or difficult? Hard topic. Oksana is saying difficult. Yeah, I think I personally, yes, Sindo is saying very tricky, and that's exactly, you just hit the nail on the head. You just nailed it. It is very tricky. So my next question for you is, why do you think it's the biggest, what do you think is the biggest problem with infinitives and gerunds for English learners? Why is it so tricky? Why do you think? I'm giving you 10-15 seconds to give me one answer at least. Why do you think it's tricky? Why do you think it's difficult? A lot of verbs, yeah, and because that's it, Sindo, Anastasia, it's true, hundreds of verbs, but us, again, Sindo, you're a genius. As you have just nailed it again, there are so many exceptions that very often the rules, the so-called rules, are not very helpful. And that's what we are going to talk about today. So we'll spend about 20 minutes going over the rules, but then we'll focus on some exceptions, okay? So, okay, now to establish or re-establish the rules, we will be looking at individual sentences. So I have a little task for you. There are 9 sentences that I've prepared for you, and I'm going to be showing you one sentence at a time, and then you in the chat, you tell me if you are happy with the sentence or not. So is it correct or is it not? And then we establish the rule for INGs and infinitives. So the first sentence for you to decide if it's correct or not is this. So to speak good English will probably give you a better job. Are you happy or not happy? So just put it in the chat. Happy with the sentence, not happy with the sentence. Incorrect, good. Can you, so if you are saying incorrect, you are essentially saying that you need this. Okay, speaking good English will probably give you a better job. That's it. Now, I know you all know it, But let's just very quickly establish the first rule. Okay, so rule number one, that's for the use of the gerund, is that we use it to start a sentence and to make it the subject of the sentence. And here, the gerund is a noun. So again, just to give you a couple of examples, yeah? So being a teacher is very demanding, studying English can be challenging, yeah? I know you all know this, okay? But I have a question for you. When we use gerund here, are we focusing on the general idea or specific action? Because that's sometimes confusing for students. Is it A or B? Come on, guys, because this is easy. Okay, A. Good. Very good. So we have the first rule. We use the gerund at the beginning of the sentence to start a sentence, and this is a noun, and it introduces a general idea. But how about Shakespeare, who said to be or not to be? Are you saying that Shakespeare is using incorrect English, not grammatical? How about this sentence? To speak English well must be a dream. I mean, after all, you're here. So to speak it well must be, and also all these sentences are correct. And to teach had been my dream long before I started teaching. So now, what are you going to say to that? I mean, if this is the rule, if we use the gerund to start a sentence, right, to make it the subject of a sentence, how come that we can also speak like this? How is it possible? So, okay, just to give you a little bit of awareness, really, it is possible to use the infinitive, okay, to start a sentence, but it's less common and it's much more formal, very often written. We don't really speak like this, but we write like this. It's often poetic and it's often used to express. So the reason why I'm showing you this, yeah, is just to raise your awareness, okay? I don't expect you to be using it immediately. You may not ever use it, but you have to be aware that it's actually possible. It exists. So next time you see it in written English, don't be surprised. Don't go to your teacher and say, but teacher, you said that it's only ing. No, it's actually possible. Now, let's go back to a second sentence. Good. Now, what do you think about that? Again, happy, not happy. Happy, not happy. Come on, I need some answers from you, because if I don't get answers, I can't move on. Happy, not happy. Happy. Good. Saide's saying happy. Shai's saying happy. Good. So, to speak good English, you need to practice a lot. Now, again, you see, we started a sentence with the infinitive. So what is another rule for infinitives and gerunds? So the second rule is we use the infinitive to express purpose. Now, this kind of, this use of the infinitive is actually deceptively easy, again, because students, most students know that, but very often they still make mistakes, a lot of mistakes with this. It's almost like it's counterintuitive for some students. So to make it easier for you, okay, this essentially is in order to, in short. So for example, to speak good English, you need to practice a lot. In other words, it's the same as in order to speak good English, you need to practice a lot. So it answers the question why, well, in order to speak English, and you can swap the clauses. So you can just say you need to practice a lot why in order to speak good English, right? So in order to, it's not typically used in spoken English. We don't speak like that. It's rather formal. And this is why there is the infinitive of purpose. It's just faster and it's easier, and it always answers the question why. So let's just do a little bit of practice very, very quickly, okay? And put it in the chat. Why are you here today? Why are you here today? Give me one answer. Come on, guys, it's just a warm up. I know it's easy. Good, to learn. In order to learn, Lina is saying. Very good. Lina, see if you can just drop in order, okay? Because again, we don't really say it. We write it, but we don't say it. So just to learn. Jan is saying improve. Is it improve or to improve? Because that's exactly, this is the infinitive of purpose, right? So to learn, to improve, to speak good English, that's it. Drop, okay, the in order to phrase. One more. Why do you go to the dentist? Come on, boom, boom, very, very quickly, 10 seconds. Why? 2, 3 answers. To check, good. To get your teeth checked. To cure or to get your teeth checked? Okay, to check. Okay, to check or to get checked. To get your teeth checked. Okay, sounds better. Okay, to get them checked. That's it. And the last one, why do we say sorry? I'm really curious what you're going to say. Why do we say sorry to people? To apologize. Beautiful, Oksana. That's it. Okay. So we already have 2 rules. Okay. Starting a sentence, 1 for gerund, 1 for infinitive. And this number 2 is very, very British people say sorry for everything. That's it. So yeah. So we often say sorry, right? To apologize. Well, actually, I don't even know why we often why we say it so often. Anyway, so rule number 1 is for the gerund, rule number 2 is for the infinitive, and we are starting a sentence. Good. Now, let's move on quickly, because I have something more challenging for you later. I'm delighted being here with you today. Now, happy or not happy? Happy or not happy? Jen is saying happy, happy. Fresh Day is happy. Not happy. Happy. Oh, I like that. Not happy, Sindo is saying. Right. Okay. So let me show you this rule number 3, and then we are going to look at the sentence again. Rule number 3 is for the use of the infinitive. So we use the infinitive after some adjectives, and these adjectives typically describe feelings, attitude, senses, character. I'll show you the list of adjectives. So when you go back here, okay, I'm delighted. You're expressing, that's it, Saida is saying not happy. You're expressing how you feel. You can't use ing. So I'm delighted to be here, right? Because we only use the infinitive. Let me just find the right color. We only use the infinitive after adjectives like delighted, or let me give you another example. Look at that. I'm lucky to have a husband. Okay, so lucky has something to do with how I feel, right? My attitudes, my feelings. I'm lucky to have a husband. Now, we'll come back to this sentence in a minute. Oh, come on. Don't do it to me now. Good. So you could also say, this is why we say, I'm sorry to say that, okay? It's how you feel, it's your attitude. I'm afraid to ask, I'm angry to hear. This is all the same rule. So you are talking about adjectives to do with your character, feelings, attitudes, and you always use the infinitive. And there is a list of adjectives here, okay? It's not all the adjectives, it's just some of them, but as you can see, they all have something to do with how you feel, right? So reluctant, sad, proud, curious, it's always the infinitive. Now let's go back to a sentence about my husband. So because I'm an incredibly awful woman, I keep nagging, okay, then I could say I'm lucky to have a husband, right? But now, this, of course, is tongue-in-cheek, just to teach you a nice expression, because we don't just want to be talking about grammar. So I'm saying this, that I'm lucky to have a husband, but I'm saying it tongue-in-cheek. Sounds not happy. When Jan, when you say sounds not happy, how do you mean? I'm lucky to have a husband? Okay, just leave a note in the chat. So I'm saying it tongue in cheek. Now look at lovely Barack Obama and look at his face, tongue in cheek. So when we use this expression, it means that we are not being serious. We are, oh yeah, with the emoji. It's because it's because I thought this was an outrageous sentence. I mean, how can you say I'm lucky to have a husband? Of course I'm, how can I be lucky to have a husband? My husband is lucky to have me. But I just wanted to use this opportunity to teach you this nice phrase, tongue in cheek. And it means you are saying something, but you are not being serious, okay? It's a joke, you are being humorous. And tongue in cheek is exactly what you see on screen when you look at Barack's face. You see, that's tongue in cheek. So now what I want you to do is look at this sentence, okay? Again, to talk about the same role, the infinitive, silly. Silly is probably, should be on this list, okay? It would be silly to not take the GT Open Learning opportunity to improve your English. Now, do you think I'm saying this tongue in cheek, or do you think I'm being serious? What do you think? Do you think this sentence, silly to not take, is tongue in cheek, or do you think I'm being serious? Serious, yes, Anastasia. It would be silly not to take this opportunity. Very good. But you have an example of the infinitive, of the use of the infinitive with an adjective expressing feelings and attitudes. And one last one, okay? Some English idioms, like tongue in cheek, are too good to not be used. You see, another example of a very nice way of using the infinitive. So too good, too fast, too soon, too. So this is when we use the infinitive. Now, one thing that I want to highlight, again, take this opportunity, okay, to show you something. It's INGs, but I just, again, I don't want this opportunity to show you this. Do we say silly to not take or silly not to take? Too good to not be or too good not to be? Not to be used. Not to be used. Yeah, not to be used. Anastasia, I'm confused. Okay, so my question is, let me just open this box. My question is, okay, do you, when you speak, imagine that you are saying this sentence, would you have said it would be silly not to take or to not take the GT Open Learning opportunity? Very good, not to take, not to take. So what you are saying is, this is an error. Yeah, Sindo, very good. So, so to not take, not to take, right? So the rule in English is never split the infinitive. So the to always is in a sense glued to the verb. So we say not to, we don't say to not, right? So this and this, these are wrong, okay? And I'm glad someone has noticed this and you've made a note in the chat. So it's just, again, to raise your awareness. Many people say to not do, but it's not to do, okay? Cool. And now let's go back to let's go back to this. And we have another sentence, okay? So, English learners are often advised against learning grammar without a clear context. Now, are you happy with this sentence or not? Happy, Fresh Day saying. Very good. Happy, happy, happy. Good. So we have another rule, okay? Rule number 4 is for the use of gerund, and you know it, I'm sure. It's about using the gerund after prepositions and phrasal verbs. Now, the good thing about this rule is that the infinitive is never possible. So there are no exceptions here, okay? There's always, the moment there is a preposition, any preposition, you automatically go for the ing. Let's just very, very quickly practice this. I have 3 examples. Oops. Okay, so the customer insisted getting a refund. So a preposition is missing. What do you think is the preposition here? What's the missing preposition? And that's why we have ing. Not in, Preshta? On, very good, very good, very good. People are saying on. So, so insisted on. Because we have the preposition, it has to be gerund. There's no other way. Now look at this, okay? Now we have the phrasal verb. We have to put traveling to London due to heavy snow. So what's the missing particle? Insisted. Insisted means that you don't want to give up. So I want my refund. I'm not leaving until I get my refund. So you insist on doing something, right? You are not going to stop. Very good. Anastasia is saying put off. Now, so we have to put off traveling to London. So we have a phrasal verb. Very good. We have a preposition here. So automatically we have the ing, and put off means delay. And the last one, okay. So as you can see, okay, it's a failed test. Now, imagine a conversation between a father and a son, father to the son. You should have studied harder, sitting the test. Not Anastasia, try again, because you need a preposition here. So we are looking at prepositions. So you, not, I knew, Ashik, Ashik, I can see your name. Before, very good. Annalisa is saying, I knew I would get you here. You see, this is how awful I am, and this is why I'm so lucky to have a husband. Before. Now, number 2, too late now, says the father. You should get failing the test. Just continue. Just forget about it. What's the phrasal verb? The lovely phrasal verb. No, I'm giving you 10 more seconds. It means just live with it. No, just live with it. Get over it. So again, so when you get over something, you just have to live with it, okay? Put it in the past, okay? Don't be a drama queen. That's it. Done and dusted. Move on. So the father says you should get over failing the test, right? So because we have the preposition, we need ing. And the last one, the father says, just keep studying, will you? Very good. Keep on studying, will you? Right, says the father. So all this just demonstrates this one huge rule. I actually like to think that this is one of the biggest rules to do with the use of gerund. I mean, there are so many prepositions, so many phrasal verbs. That's why we so often use the gerund, because the preposition calls for the gerund. Now, very, very quickly, I'm very careful watching the time. Number 5, okay, happy, not happy. English learners are often advised to learn new words in context. Happy or not happy, because we have advised again. Happy, 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 very good. How about this one? English teachers often suggest or recommend to watch movies without subtitles. Happy or not happy about number 6? Ashik saying happy. Some people are saying not happy, not happy, happy. Okay, so Happy Sindo is saying, well, okay, I really hate to disappoint you here, Sindo, but number 6, you should be unhappy. So number 5 and number 6, this is one rule that we have here. And the rule is, so here, we should change it to watching. Now, don't ask me why, and I'll tell you why in a minute. It's because the infinitive and the gerund follow different verbs. And this is something that is, that's why it's so difficult very often, because there is no way, there's no easy way to learn this, okay? It's the matter of practice, and you have to remember, but you can't just remember, you have to practice it, and you have to be paying attention to this, making notes of collocations, what we call collocations. So verb, and then does it collocate with a gerund or an infinitive? So very, very quickly, of course, all these lists, okay, I mean, these are just samples, but you know that you can easily get all these verbs and lists on the internet, okay? So, and they just have to be remembered, you know. So very, very quickly, okay, let's do it together, just to have a little bit of practice. You just put I or G, okay? So where do I put deny? Which is the pattern? Infinitive, deny to do. I would say it's deny doing something. So you can deny breaking my car. Postpone. Sindo is saying postpone, ing, very good. Hesitate. 2, very good. Offer. Come on, guys, 2, very good. Afford, that's a tricky one. Often, 2. Oh, you are very good, because I've had students, this is one of the most difficult ones. Prove. Come on, prove. 2, very good. Can't stand. Can't stand. Come on, guys. That's it. Avoid. Avoid. Ing. Someone is saying good. Resist. Ing. Very good. Fail. 2, very good. So you fail to do something. Pretend. 2, and miss, of course, here. So again, I'm not going to be teaching you this. This is just sensitizing you to the rules. I know you know it, and you can learn this from books. So let's move on to our next rule. Okay. Now, this time you have to tell me which one is correct. He started to learn, or he started learning English? Both, Annalisa is saying. Beautiful. Okay, so we have another rule. So rule 6 is when we use the gerund and the infinitive with the same verb with no difference in meaning. So that's easy, okay? And let's just do a little bit of practice. We have all these images. And let's look at love, for example. And let's put it here. So you could say that you love reading books, or you love to read books, and it's exactly the same. Let's do begin. So you begin to play, or you begin playing, absolutely the same. Start is another one. Students are often, again, confused because they get to hear both forms used, and they are never sure which one is correct. So with these verbs, both are absolutely fine. So you can plan to, say, take up a new hobby, or plan on taking, or plan on. You see, this one is tricky because you need on. So if you use it as an infinitive, so you plan to start playing tennis, or you plan on taking up a new hobby and playing tennis. So you need a preposition, but it's exactly the same meaning. Continue, you could continue reading or continue to read, right? Okay, so there may be something happening in the background, but you just continue reading, continue to read. Now, why do you think these are these are a different color. I'm asking you questions and answering them myself. But it's only because we have so little time. It's because these can be used with the gerund and the infinitive, but if you use them with the infinitive, you need an object. So for example, I don't permit smoking in my house. So I don't permit you to smoke. So you need, for this one, you need an object. I don't allow smoking in my house, but I don't allow you to smoke. So you need the object. Now, I encourage buying a new car. I encourage you to buy a new car, and I advise buying a new car. Look at this car. I advise you to buy a new car. So the trick here is that even though it's the same meaning, if you want to use, if you want to use this, oh no, don't do this to me again. Okay, if you want to use these verbs with infinitive, then you need verb object infinitive and just verb gerund. This one, okay, this one, okay, obviously goes here and here, okay, and then verb plus infinitive as well for this, but this one is only applicable to these verbs. Okay, there are more verbs like that, but then again, it's raising your awareness, sensitizing you to the fact that sometimes you may again get to hear say the verb encourage with ing and infinitive, but you may not be actually hearing that there is an object after encourage, because this is how you can use the infinitive with it. So let's move on to the next rule. It's only 2 more, and then I'm going to show you some exceptions. How about this one? Actually, this is the last one. Cool. So which one is correct? Oksana is saying ing. Freshta is saying ing. So some English learners decide to stop to study English. Ing. Okay, so ing is the correct answer here. It's very good. Anastasia is saying both. Okay. Now, if you say to study English, okay, then the beginning of the sentence maybe doesn't make sense. You would say that some students stop to study English. Okay, let's look at both are possible, even though the second one doesn't make much sense in this particular case. But let's look at the rule. So the rule is, and this one is, I think, the trickiest one. The rule is that you can use both the infinitive and the gerund with certain verbs, but you completely change the meaning. So let's, we have now 5 minutes to very quickly look at some of the verbs, okay? And it's a little test for you, okay? I've decided to go for the most confusing ones. So my students are always confused about this. So the first one, this woman, as you can see, she's been jogging, okay? Now, what do you think happened? Did she stop drinking, or did she stop to drink? So she stopped to drink, okay? Very good. So she stopped to drink. So stop to means you discontinue one action, right? And you do another action. So she stopped running to drink. Here, clearly, she discontinued a habit. So she stopped drinking, right? So she stopped to drink, she stopped drinking, no drinking anymore, okay? How about this one? Okay, let me just move it like that. This is going to work better for us. So try, And that's another tricky one. We have two scenarios, okay? So this woman is in the park and it's very, very hot. So what do you think I may be saying to her? What do you think I may be saying to her? Am I saying to her, ing, so try finding some shade. Very good, Oksana, very good. So this one is ing. So that means that this has to be the second picture. So what is the difference? In the first one, I'm simply advising a way of how she can cool down. So try finding some shade, okay? Now, she's in the park, so it's not going to be that difficult to find a little bit of shade, but it may help. So you are experimenting. But imagine this situation, okay? If I say to someone that they should try finding some shade and they are on the desert, they will probably say this to me, well, you try to find some shade. Is it possible? It's not. So when you use try to in the past in particular, okay, it means that you tried, but you failed. There's no other way. So when you try to do something, it means that it's going to be really, really hard. And try doing it is just a way of doing something. Maybe it'll help. Okay, so this one is a really hard one for students to get their head around the difference between infinitive and ing. But I hope the image of the desert will clarify how hard it is to find any shade. So that's why we use the infinitive, because we are assuming that it's going to be a failure. Okay, very good. And let's just very, very quickly move on and let's look at this. Okay, we have to do it quickly because I want to show you something a little bit more difficult. Go on. A beautiful phrasal verb. Okay, so again, different meaning when used with infinitive and ing. So this girl finished high school and then she decided to study at university. So she never stopped studying. So which one is it? She went on to study or she went on studying? Oksana is saying went on studying. Very good. So here, okay, she went on studying. Okay, so went on studying means she continued, she never stopped. But how about this bloke? Look at him, he's very young, but he decided not to study anymore. Okay, I hope my niece is not going to end up like him. But anyway, he decided not to study anymore. So it means that he stopped and he changed the course of his life. So he went on to look for a job. And this effectively means that you stop one thing and you completely change direction, right? Very good, Lina is saying too. So he finished school and he went on to look for a job. It was the next step in his or stage in his life. So she went on studying and he went on to look for a job. Now, very quickly look at regret. So she, okay, imagine the wife has just informed the husband about some problematic situation, okay? So now look at his reaction. So obviously, how is she now feeling about telling him? She regrets telling him, but it's too late. This is already done. Lina, yes, you are all, I'm just going to speed up a little bit because I can see that you are clear on that. How about this one? This woman is saying, I regret to tell you I'm leaving you. So I regret to tell you this. It means this is something I'm about to say. So ing means damage done. Okay, I've already done it. Now I wish I hadn't. So I regret doing it. But I regret to do it means I'm about to say it. Okay, I'm very, very sorry, but this is what's going to happen. This one is pretty straightforward. Okay, we'll just spend 10 seconds on it. So that's my car. What do I need? Do I need to call or do I need calling for assistance? Good, I need to call for assistance. But how about this? My car needs to fix or my car needs fixing. My car needs fixing. So need, again, is different in that people, you need something, but things need doing, right? Okay, and the, I don't know, do you want to go through forget and remember, or shall we skip this one? Are you clear on forget, remember? Because I have the skip here, that's what Ashik is saying, and that's how I feel about it. Okay, now let's look at some exceptions. So, from experience, okay, I know that this is tricky for students. I mean, that's clear. I'm delighted to be here. I'm determined to learn and speak English very well. These are perfect sentences, right? So we have an adjective and we have the infinitive. But in that case, okay, if this is the role, okay, we have another adjective, right? So I'm committed, just like I'm delighted, I'm determined. I'm committed to what? I'm committed to, that's it, Anastasia is saying, but to what? Use the verb teach, to teach. Very good, to teaching. So, and this is why it's tricky. Okay, so what happens here? Where are my colors here? Okay, let's just highlight it. So what happens here? What is the difference between this and these two sentences? I mean, you see, on the face of it, it looks like it's exactly the same, right? On the face of it, it looks like I'm delighted, I'm determined, I'm committed, I'm dedicated, I'm accustomed, I'm addicted, I'm opposed. But, very good. But the difference being that after delighted, there is no preposition. So here, what you have is to is part of an infinitive. So delighted, to be, happy, to be, silly, to be, lucky, to have. So, but here, okay, these verbs take a preposition and the preposition is to. So there are very many verbs like this in English, and this confuses students a lot because they can sometimes, it's hard for them to tell the difference between a preposition or part of an infinitive. So I'm dedicated to helping other people. I'm accustomed to working long hours. She's addicted to drinking coffee, and he's opposed to bringing changes. And it's because it's a prepositional phrase. Same goes for some very common phrasal verbs, as you know, and expressions like I look forward to. How many times have you heard, or I at least have heard, a student saying, I look forward to meet you? Why do you think students say meet you? Because they think that because there is to, it immediately implies an infinitive, but it's not, because to here is a preposition. And what's the rule after prepositions? ing. So I look forward to meeting you. Okay, sorry, meeting you. Let's just remove this because I have it somewhere. Now, very quickly, now look at the second situation. Okay, and that's me. Maybe not me, someone. And after procrastinating for days, I finally got around to what? I got around to, what do you think? So I look forward to walking. Yeah, I mean, my idea here was to cleaning my house, because that's what I'm doing. So after procrastinating for days, I finally got around to cleaning, you see? So it's got around to cleaning, not to clean, which I've heard so many times, but I heard most time, look forward to see you. No, 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 Freshta, this is very, very, very wrong, okay? When you look forward to, it's a preposition, and after prepositions, we always use INGs, and that was one of the rules earlier that we said we can never break. Same here. And the last one, look at this. We have a verb, confessed, okay? It's a broken vase. And I said to my husband, you did it. And he was saying, no, 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 no. And then finally he confessed to what? He confessed to breaking the vase because we have a preposition, okay? So be very careful about this. Again, raising your awareness. Now, I'm going to show you something else about INGs, because that's quite interesting. That's my experience again. My students never use it this way because they have no awareness of even, I don't know, being able to use it. So we have a sentence, I miss watching movies on the sofa every week, okay? But now imagine, that's me, no, that's me, that's my husband. And that's, there's a dog somewhere, okay? We don't have a dog, we have a cat, but I couldn't find another picture. So I miss watching movies on the sofa. Now, in the past, we used to do it together. So how can I make this sentence more, I don't want to say detailed, but how can I change it so it includes the two of us? So what I'm saying is you have to use a personal pronoun somewhere, okay? So we have different personal pronouns, right? We have the object form and the possessive form pronoun here. So which one would you use to include in this sentence, to include the information that the two of us used to do it together? Okay, I'll just do it for you. Let me use a pen. So I miss, and now we have to add an object. Now, which object are we going to add? So obviously it's the two of us. So now it's the question of which one we can use. Not you, Freshta, because it's the two of us. So what do I miss? Okay, someone is saying us, someone is saying our. Now, which one is correct? Let me then tell you, dear friends, I'm going to call you friends, but I have to. Let me tell you that you can, oh, where is my us? Okay. You can actually use both. So you could say, I miss us watching movies. I miss watching movies on the sofa. I miss us watching movies on the sofa. So both are correct. Now, you only have to remember that us is less formal. So when you use the possessive form, you are more formal. So it's often in writing, but to be honest, I use it a lot in spoken English as well, okay? It depends on who you are having a conversation with. So both are possible, but the second one, the possessive form, is more formal. So you can just say, I miss us watching movies on the sofa. I miss watching movies on the sofa. Now, let's just very quickly look at this. So I can't stand being told what to do. Now, you always tell me what to do. Can you change the sentence then? So I can't stand. We have to change the sentence a little bit, right? So I can't stand what? Your, it wouldn't be you, it would be your here, okay? Well, actually, you would be possible, but for a different reason, okay? So let's just, okay, let's just do your, okay? Oh, I don't want to, okay. But then we have to change, what do we have to change this? Yeah, we have to change this into telling me. So the whole sentence. Okay, and I'd actually say, I can't stand your telling me. So what you are doing is you are taking this, okay, and putting it here. Oh, this is so deeply so sorry, guys. You see, that's it. It's the same form. So I can't stand you're telling me what to do. That's how we would actually say it. Okay. And now look at this. I don't understand why she doesn't study. So I don't understand what? I don't understand. That's it. Her not studying. That's it. That's all, because understand needs ing. So I don't understand her not studying. This is incomprehensible to me. How about this? I hope you don't mind if I leave. So what can we say? I hope you don't mind what? You don't mind. Very good. You can say my, remember it's more formal, or simply me. I hope you don't mind my leaving. I hope you don't mind me leaving. Both are possible. Just be mindful. The second one is more formal. And I really appreciate the help. So I really appreciate, you know, that. So them trying to help, or the trying to help. Okay, both are possible. And I don't think he's returned the keys yet. I don't recall him, returning the keys. I don't recall his returning the keys. Both are possible. Now, but to make it even more complicated, we said both are possible, right? So you can this or this, okay, with a different level of formality. But how about when you actually use names? So I appreciate that John wants to help. I appreciate John or John's. Not both, Lina. That's the whole point. So when you use names, then you only use John. You can't use this possessive form. That's it. So in this sentence, I can't imagine that Stella would ever agree to this. I can't imagine Stella ever agreeing to this. So you just take the name. But if it's the case of using pronouns, then you can choose, okay? You can use either, okay? Spoken English, this is more common, but if you want to be more formal, you go for this. Okay, where are we now? Are we, okay, hold on, this is, now, okay, I have more exceptions for you, and then we can do a little quiz, okay? Let me just look at, watch out for traps. Let's look at number 1. So look at the picture, okay? So he allowed me what? So obviously I'm taking somebody's phone. So he allowed me, come on guys, to take, very good. So it's the case of infinitive, and it's obvious, you know it. He allowed me to use his phone. But how about this sentence? It's the same meaning. He let me take Anastasia, very good. So so sometimes, again, you have different verbs, the same meaning, but then this is going to be bare infinitive. There is no to. So you only put the verb. He let me use, but he allowed me to use. So sometimes the infinitive is a bare infinitive. How about this one then? It's another trap. So he came to see me, but I made him what? Look at this. 3 hours, because I don't like him. So I just let him stay there. So he came to see me, but I made him what? Made him, what is he doing? Okay, Lina is saying waiting. Sad. Sad. I don't care if he's sad. Believe me, fresh start. Okay, I don't like this guy. I have no idea who he is, by the way. So he came to see me, but I made him okay, made him wait. So you make somebody do something. So similar to let, it's a bare infinitive and there's no S or anything. It's just the verb after make. So you make somebody do something. I made him wait, right? That's clear, okay? I become sad. Oh, fresh day. Yeah, I mean, I never do that. I'm only saying this for the purpose of this presentation. I'm actually a nice person. So don't believe every word I say here. How about the second one then? He was made when he came to see me. He was made, I mean, in the first sentence, you can see I made him wait. So it's bare infinitive. But this is slightly different because it's passive. So he was made is passive. Because it's passive, you need full infinitive, but you can make somebody do something. So this is, he was made to be waiting. No, Svetlana, you wouldn't be able to say that. No, after make, you just use infinitive, bare infinitive, or infinitive. There's no ing. So you make somebody do something, but this person is made to do it. And it's a big trap for students because it's very counterintuitive again. So just raising your awareness. And the last one, I thought this would be, that's easy. This one, the last one is easy, but because students often ask me, then I thought we could just go through this. So what we have here is a father and a daughter. Now, the father is helping her daughter to do or do her homework. Which one is correct? Preshta is saying to do. Saida, so different answers, to do, to do. Okay, now, so I'm going to make you very happy because both are possible. So with help, it doesn't matter which one you use. You can never make a mistake. So Sindo is saying both, yeah. So cool. Okay, now let's just do a little test. I have a little game for you, okay, just to see how good you are, okay, and just to practice some of this language that we have here today. Number one, I want you to put your answers in the chat, okay? So the first one is, I want us to get married. Now, do you think your father would object? Can you finish the sentence? Now, you can use ing, infinitive, bare infinitive. How would you finish the sentence? Do you think your father would object? Okay, Lina is saying would object to marry you. Anybody else? Give me one or two more. Would object us. Okay, Freshta is saying. So would object it. Okay, Sindo. Oh, Kamai, this is a shortcut. Okay, of course you could say objected. It's a beautiful answer, but I want you to use ings or infinitives. Would object me, Ashik. Would object to our marrying. Okay, now. So the answer is, so do you think your father would object to getting married? So Annalisa, you were very, very close, okay? But you would just say getting married, yeah, not. So what we have here is object is followed by a preposition. If it's a preposition, you need ing, and obviously it's two people, so you need a pronoun. So object to getting married. Well done, guys. How about this one? Hard work is the key to be successful. To be successful, of being successful, to success, the key to success. The key to success is fine, Cinder, okay, very good. But again, it's a shortcut in the sense that you are using a noun, but it's a lovely answer, okay? Nothing wrong with this. But if you were to use ing or infinitive, you'd probably say this. So again, the key to ing, because to is a preposition. So the key to a happy life, the key to being successful is hard work. So you see, it's the role whereby to is not part of the infinitive, but it's a preposition that follows a verb. So you need ing. And next one, he doesn't want to smoke anymore. He's trying himself one a day. What do you think? I'm giving you 1 minute. Okay, Cinto is saying he's trying, very good, to limit. Himself smoking. Okay, almost. Okay, to limit. Oh, so we have tried to, because we know that it's going to be difficult, right? It's not easy to stop a habit, but then limit to. So because it's a preposition, you need ing. So to limit himself to smoking one a day. So as you can see, this is when you form complex sentences with ings and infinitives, it's not as straightforward as just simple sentences, right? How about this one? It's unwise, and then cancel the project. I think this one is quite straightforward. It's unwise. That's it, to cancel. So we have one of those adjectives, right, that somehow show how we feel. That's it. How about this? I don't doubt that Stella was sincere. Now, I want you to change this so that you include ing. I'll show you. So I don't doubt Stella being sincere. So instead of saying, I don't doubt that, you just go for ing. Good. Her being sincere. That's it. You could change Stella into her. I don't doubt her being sincere. It's fine, right? And the last one. I used a lot, but now I'm used Ashik is saying, I used to cooking and to eat. To cooking, to eat. Okay. So now look at that. I used to cook, because here we have infinitive after used to do something. But the second one is actually a preposition. So I'm used to eating because of the verb to be here. So that's tricky. Okay, sorry, I didn't mean to be like that. That was awful of me to give you this last sentence, right? Really tricky. But anyway, that's what it is. So I don't know how helpful this session was. I hope you've, I don't want to say you've learned something new, because you can't learn things in 1 hour, but I hope you are now more aware of certain exceptions and certain little rules, okay? And I wish I could tell you how to improve faster when it comes to ings and infinitives, but I think the only way to improve is by having the awareness, looking out, watching out for ings and infinitives and analyzing them in a sense. So see if you can actually decide what role is being applied, because this will organize your knowledge in your head, and then practice.